Alright guys, so it's been 6 months now that we've had the Focus 1 lights on Brad's tank, so it's time to get an update and see how they're doing. Hey guys, Devin with ReefDudes, and now today we're going to get a bit of an update and see how the Focus 1 lights are doing. They've been on Brad's tank for about 6 months now, so it's really been giving them a really good test, so kind of curious just to see how everything's going. The tank is looking awesome as always. And stuff looks like it's going pretty good. So Brad, I'm kind of curious to hear your experience. So it's been 6 months now. Before you started with ATI T5 LEDs, and now you've swapped them to LEDs, so that in itself was a bit of a change. And now we've had the lights on, so the lights do kind of rotate, move at different angles, and hit the coral with different angles of light throughout the day, which is kind of one of the cool features with it. That, and I find them have a really nice kind of color rendition. But so how have you found the lights over the past while?
I find the coverage is really nice. I didn't notice huge color changes in the corals from T5 to LED like I thought I would. I thought, I'd get a little bit of washed out color, but everything stayed super vibrant and super colorful. The growth has been amazing. I think, honestly, the SPS have been growing better than when I had T5. I noticed that the Zoas and Pallies, their growth has slowed down a little bit since switching. Certain colonies, especially like the Blue Kiss, I've only gained maybe 3 polyps over the 6 months, whereas before I was gaining 2 or 3 polyps a month. Utter Chaos though seemed to just explode under this lighting. I started with maybe 20. I've got well over probably 100 now, and I've fragged quite a few of them to give out and sell. Aside from that, I mean, I had certain colonies like my Rainbow Monty had a bunch of patches in it with the T5 lighting. It just wasn't being lit from all angles, and now it's completely filled in. Yeah, everything else has just been doing really well. I haven't lost any colonies. Nothing's really closed up. Everything took well to the lighting once we adjusted the par.
Did you find it took a little while for stuff to adjust to it, or did it?
At first, when we had them too high, I had some problems, but I mean, that's given that the par was too high. But once we corrected the par, everything was open, and polyps were extended within probably 3-4 days. Yeah, I've got no complaints with the lights. The only thing I'm not 100% keen on is the software. But the lights themselves are great. I'd recommend them to anyone.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, your tank's definitely looking awesome. One thing, at least from the YouTuber aspect of this, they film very nicely on the camera. Normally on most tanks you gotta try and whiten the lights or compensate, but these I can just record right off the bat, which is nice. For photos, it photographs and films very nicely. So growth-wise, you've been seeing pretty good growth. SPS, all your sticks have been happy?
Oh yeah, everything's happy. Everything's got new growth tips on it. It doesn't seem to matter where I place things, they'll grow.
Excellent. Now, with the light rotating and kind of hitting corals from different angles, have you noticed much of a difference in that versus just having top-down light?
Yeah. So when you don't have the corals directly under the light, where you get high intensity par, if they're off to the side a bit, normally those corals may not be as colorful or as bright as you want. I've noticed with certain Zoas and things like that, I've actually got some up front where the light was hitting it when it had turned, and they've become super vibrant compared to kind of the other half of the colony. So I pulled the rock a bit forward so that, in hopes that they'll all color up like the one side.
Yes.
And that's strictly due just to the fact that they do rotate. If they were top down all the time, I wouldn't get that coloration.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, you're right on this one right here. The ones on the right are definitely more of a vibrant sector.
Yeah, so the ones on the right have kind of been getting light for about the last, couple of months, when I originally redid the rock. And now I've pulled the rock forward, and now the left side will eventually color up like the right. And if you look at where the light placement is, they're kind of in the center of where the two lights are. So if the light didn't rotate, they probably wouldn't color up as nicely. Not a whole lot of changes. I mean, the fact that everything stayed pretty consistent with the lights is nice. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried, getting lights that no one's tested. Not knowing the the creators or, you know, having anyone reviewed them before kind of worried me. Especially going from ATI, which is such a well-known brand and, you know, kind of the king of T5. And being that I've had T5 ever since my 45 gallon, you know, I had T5 on the 45, I had T5 on the 65, I had T5 on the 90, you know, and I had T5 on this.
So this is your first set of LEDs then?
Yeah, it's my very first set, and I was a little worried, but you know what? I think with the way these lights have performed, the color and growth I've got from them, I don't think I'm ever going to go back to T5. I'll probably stick with these lights specifically.
Excellent.
So.
No, that's awesome to hear. No, your tank is definitely looking gorgeous as always, so it's great to hear they've been working out so well for you. Alright guys, so 6-month update on the Focus One Focustronic lights, and they have been doing an awesome job. Brad's obviously very happy with them, and it sounds like we've converted him from T5 to LEDs, and yeah, we'll do some other future updates, but so far the tank is definitely looking pretty awesome.